Justice R.S. Sodhi, retired judge of the High Court now. It was Justice Sodhi's interview that was tweeted by the Law Minister yesterday and has made front page headlines today. Justice Sodhi, did you wake up this morning and get a little bit of a shock to see your name on the front page? How did you feel about that?
I was more than shocked. I had no idea I had said such a thing that would be splashed on the headlines. I thought it was a very innocuous interview by the lady. She asked me a few questions and I gave my opinion. I did not know I had stirred the hornet's nest.
Right, but Justice Sodhi, coming back to the sort of the merits of the argument that you've made, I think it made headlines simply because it is such a big issue these days about lack of transparency or how to make the issue of judicial appointments more transparent. If you could explain to us, when you say that you think that the collegium system is unconstitutional, how so, sir?
You see, why I say it's unconstitutional is because this is not envisaged in the Constitution at all, but this has been interpreted in a manner, and which is that is why I said it is a hijack of the Constitution.
Go ahead, sir.
And and therefore I felt, the collegium, they had evolved a new system which is not envisaged and which amounts to really legislating and amending the Constitution. Now that I think is not within the purview of the Supreme Court's powers. The collegium system as a whole, I think, you see now look at it. Let's examine it a little more. See, there are three judges in the High Court who select a judge for the High Court and pass it on to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court may reject it and may agree with them. Now those three, one of them is an outsider, because he's the Chief Justice from a different state. He's not from the state at all, or from the High Court. Now the other two are normally the ones who have their say. But I still want to know, what is the criteria of which on the basis of which you select? Where is that laid down? It is still ipse dixit. You still are a master of your own ceremony. That kind of a thing. I will choose him, not choose him. Why will you not choose the other person? Why will the only a particular person be chosen? Now, if there was something, if there was transparency in the selection system, then all these things need not be addressed or need not be said. But this is like fiefdom of the three in the High Court, and similarly then you go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court just sits over there and rejects few names sent by the High Court. Why? It's not answerable. And now it's the fiefdom of the three over there. Now when they want to appoint a judge of the Supreme Court, 5 of them get together and they said, no, this man is good, that man is bad, this man is good. Where is the criteria? Who do you, is it your friends you want to appoint?
It's too arbitrary and opaque. Basically, that's what you're saying.
It is absolutely, yes, it's absolutely arbitrary. I see no foundation for such a kind of high-handedness in appointments, as it were.
Very strong words used by you there, Justice Sodhi. You're saying that these are fiefdoms of the collegiums, essentially. That's how they're treating these judicial appointments, high-handedness, as you put it. But can I ask you that when you say you want to see a secretariat in High Courts and the Supreme Court for judicial appointments, do you believe, like the Law Minister wrote to the Chief Justice last week, that there should be a government representative who is also part of the collegium? Now, I don't know how that would work, because that wasn't very clearly spelled out in the letter. But do you believe that the government should have a more proactive role, or would that set an unhealthy precedent, given that the government is the biggest litigant in our courts?
Actually, I don't want to say anything which will create a further controversy. See, the government must not be looked at as an enemy of the state, or of the people, or of the judiciary, or of anything. They are government. But however, from the Secretariat, what I meant was that there will not be an arbitrariness over there, and there will be a pool from which would be well considered, well documented, and from that pool the names can be suggested for judgeship. I mean, and another thing, what I say is, why only those 3 people will decide? Who are they? What about the 20 others, or 50 others, or 60 others, the other judges of the courts? Are they redundant? Are they not supposed to be consulted at all?
Are you saying you believe the collegium could be bigger, as it could be a larger panel of judges in the High Court and the Supreme Court? Do you think that is a solution?
Well, see, solutions again. If there are criteria and there is, it's a transparent exercise of power. Yes, anything can work. Anything and everything can work. But in this clouded atmosphere of pick and choose, and most of them have they come under public criticism for being sent up for their names sent up on considerations other than merit only.
But
when that comes into being,
right.
Surely.
But I come back to the question, sir, that do you agree with the Law Minister that a government representative should be part of the collegium?
See, I don't have to agree with him at all. The question is, you please make a system. Sit amongst yourself and make a system. Whether you want the government over there or you don't want the government over there. But if you don't want the government over there, then mind you, you are the ones who are appointing yourself. Is it ever done anywhere in the world? Anywhere in the world, or in any organization, in any country, in any democracy, can you keep on appointing yourself? Or it's just not done. You must have some kind of. You must respect the Constitution at least. The Constitution did not give you this right, but you grabbed it, and grabbed it by a judgment. Say 1 judgment, 2 judgment, 3 judgment. You may have 40 judgments of your own. But that doesn't make you right. So the system has to change. That's collegium business.
When the Supreme Court collegium released details last week of the IB and RNAW reports about certain senior lawyers who they had nominated for judgeships in high courts, including Saurabh Kripal, whose grounds were flagged as because he's gay, he has a Swiss partner, therefore there was a red flag raised by the RNAW about him. Another judge, the Intelligence Bureau said, well, he shared an article that was critical of the Prime Minister, so that was cited as a reason not to appoint him as a judge. Now, the Supreme Court put that into public domain last week. What did you think of that move? Was that the right step? Should they do it in all cases?
Firstly, I thought it was no. I thought it was a shameful thing for the Supreme Court to have done that. You have exposed the judge, you have exposed the agencies, and are you sure it's the full thing and it's not a selective leak? I don't know. Just these lines were the objections. I am doubtful.
No, but these lines, even
maybe.
if one was to
and
see them in isolation,
the government is wrong.
They were problematic. But that apart, sir, the principle of putting it out in public domain, since the government has been asking for transparency and so has the legal fraternity, was this the right step?
Transparency can't be only from one side, Only from one side. This may be the objection of the government, which may be wrong. All right, this may be incorrect, but there are hundreds of other cases in which they have rejected. What about disclosing all those also? You disclose everything then, and also let us have before you appoint the judge, please disclose the IB report, the intelligence reports, disclose them all into public domain, and then we'll see.
So you're saying don't be
selective
selective about
like
it.
this and say, what? Don't be selective about it. At least have a system. I'm saying again and again, please have a system which is transparent, which is credible. These are judges that are going to decide your future. As it is, they can't decide. It takes 10 years for a case to be decided, or 5 years for a case to be decided. The Supreme Court itself can't decide on good issues. They're just hanging over there, and they are saying we are appointing everybody on merit. If it were on merits, things would have been much better.
How would that merit be determined? If I could ask you one last question, would it have to be?
Sorry?
How will that be determined?
What we determined?
Merit, the merit criteria that you're talking about. Is that something you think that that's what needs to evolve?
Yes. Now this is what you have to lay down. What is the criteria? What is the merit that a particular lawyer must be able to attain? All right, you have a public service commission examination for everything else. You have nothing over here, but you're ipse dixit that this man is good, this man is bad, and who does it? Those 3 people sitting over there, and out of those 3, one is an outsider totally.
Right. Well,
and you're saying the system is so opaque, so wonderful. How can that be done? I can't accept it.